Hello beautiful people, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video I'll be teaching you how to make this slant waistline, a slant waistline and also a slant neckline. The inspiration is this pink outfit in the middle. So this is what I recreated. I know it is not perfect, but this is what I could recreate from this. And also this 3D on this dress, I also have a tutorial on it. It will be linked up here in the comment section and also in the description box. So if you want to learn how to go about the cutting and the stitching of this neckline and this waistline, so please like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get started. Welcome guys, so this is a princess that Bustier. So from the shoulder down to the first line I measured 4 inches, then the other ones are the other regular measurements, but one thing special here is just from the shoulder to this line, after the shoulder line, which is 4 inches. So after you are done drafting, you cut this out. I did not show the drafting of this pattern because I have a lot of tutorial on that, so I'll just be linking it in the comment section, in the description box, and also up here. So after you are done cutting, this is what you have. So you open up your pattern like this, you open it up like this. So you take out 2.5 inches. So the minimum you can do at this area is 2.5. So you can do 3.5, 3 inches. But I did 2.5 at this area. So from that point, I just showed a straight line down to the 4-inch line that I measured the other time. So the next thing I'll be doing is to connect this point where the line of that 2.5 and 4 inches meets. That point, I'll connect it to my armhole measurement. So I'll try and connect it. Please just follow the way I'm doing. I'm sorry, I should have pinned this down or use a tape to hold this down so that it will not shake. So I'm sorry about that. So you just connect it like this, like the way I did. And for this other part too, so from that point also you connect to the armhole also. Please, when you are doing this, make sure you pin yours because mine was just moving, but I just make sure I did the right thing. Please just pin it down so that it can be more easier for you. So then you connect to this point. So we are trying to connect this armhole down to this area where we connected the first point. So that's the slant we are trying to make, and this is what we have after we are done. So the next thing I'll be doing now is to cut out those parts I don't need. So after cutting it out, this is what I have. So after I was done, from the excess at the upper part, I will try and cut out a yoke for one of the lower parts of this. So this lower part here, no one side is higher than the other. So this lower part, I went ahead to cut a yoke from that pattern I cut out earlier. So the yoke was not complete, but I just find a way to cut the yoke. So you just need a yoke at that part. You may not use a yoke, but me, I'm using a yoke because I'll be using a nude net, so it won't be visible. I hope you get. So that's why I'm cutting the yoke. So I will use a nude net. So this is the back pattern also, and for one side we need a yoke, that is the side opposite the front. Like you will need a yoke for that, but the other side you just need a tiny strap. So you don't need anything for that area, you just need a tiny strap for that area. So now you place your pattern like this just to close up this under bust down to the waist area, just to close it up, and from the side you want your slant to be. But before that, you take out your sewing allowance which I've added to this pattern. So I'm trying to take it out at this area. Then from this upper part area, I will draw a curve down to the under bust of this first pattern. Then I will slant it downward to the other side. So this part will be like a corset side. I don't know if you understand the way we make a corset curve at this area. So this is the under bust down to this upper part. You just make a curve like this. So then this other part you just make it slant. So at first So the same thing I did at this side, I'm taking out my sewing allowance so it won't affect what I'm trying to do. So now, at first I connected this from this part to this part and it was very sharp, but later on I took out 2 inches, I think 1.5 or 2 inches at this other area, but this was the first thing I drafted. So now this is the 1 inch rather I now took out, so I now redraw the line. So if you want it to be sharp like this, like the first one, you can actually use it. For me, I did not want it to be that sharp, so that is why I just measured 1 inch at that part. So then I'm using my marker to trace this out so that it will be more visible, and this is what it looks like. So after I am done, I will cut it out. So after I was done, this is what I have. As you can see, one side is slant and the other side is not. So on this dress, I noticed that on the skirt pattern too, they also made a slant there, but I did not make on mine. But you can also go ahead and do that too on yours, just a little bit. So one side you just take out, like let's say like 2 inches below, then you slant it. So these are the pattern, and for this waist area, this part, so I'm using a nude net. So if you have a corset mesh, a transparent corset mesh, you can use it, but I couldn't find any. That's why I'm using a net. So these are the yokes, and I'm joining the front and the back together. I'm putting the yoke together. I don't want it to have a joining. That is what I did here. So this is what it looks like. So this is the skirt pattern, and like I said, you can make a slant at one side if you want it to be exactly like that picture. So I did not quickly notice, that's why I didn't do this for mine. It was later I noticed that there was a slant on the skirts. So these are my boning casing, and this is just 1.5 inch wide. So now for us to know where we'll put our casing, I'll take out my sewing allowance. I'm just measuring 2 inches, 2 inches, just 2 inches around this part. So I'm just measuring 2 inches, yeah, just 2 inches, and just divide it the way you want. Actually, just divide it the way you want, then you just roll it out. Just make sure it is equal. That's the point here. Just make sure it is equal. Then you place your, the way I sew my boning casing, this is how I sew it. So just place it like this. You sew, then you flip it over again, then you sew and you top stitch at the first area. So you place your boning casing like this on the line. So you sew it 1/2 inch depending on how wide you want it, then you flip it over, then you stop stitch at both side. So after I was done, this is what it looks like, and this was the upper part. I've gone ahead to join it, so I'll also join the fabric and I'll turn it with the lining. So after I was done joining, this is what it looks like. Then I'm fixing my yoke now, so I'll just place the yoke as where it's supposed to be. So I'll pin it down, then I'll use the lining to cover and to sew it. So you just pin it down like this. Like I said earlier, if you don't want a yoke, you can just skip that part, because that was why I even use a nude net for mine, because it won't be visible. So you just sew this slant area, then you turn it over. So after I was done, this is what I have. There was no light, that was why I couldn't be ironing at this point, but I just make sure to continue and I make sure I was doing the right thing. So this is what it's looking like. So I will join the waist area, and after I was done, this is what it looks like. I'm sorry I skipped a lot of part, and the part I skipped it was just the fixing of this tiny strap at the back. So for the tiny strap, I just pin it down just from one end, this side, to the front, just to attach it like that. That's just the only thing I think I skipped. Then after that, I fixed my zip and I did the normal regular pin. So just what I just wanted to show you here was just how to go about the sewing of this bustier, and also the cutting and the sewing actually. So from the waist area, what I just went ahead to do is the small beading I just did at that area, and this 3D pattern I made. So if you want to learn how to make it, I also have a tutorial on that. So I'll be linking it up here and in the comment section. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.